Man, this gets old doing this with you. Hey,
It,
look at that. I've only seen that image with the lone man standing on it. Is this the same day?
probably, yeah.
Okay.
And is that the Palouse?
Yeah, it is. Yep, infrared in the Palouse.
John, I think that's canola, isn't it?
Again, we keep talking about Margaret and Earl. Margaret blurted out during one session, "Tell us about canola." That was hysterical.
Oh
Really,
my goodness.
really, really good. I'm going to pull something on over here because I'm not going to remember all this. But you had written a good topic idea a while back, and I thought it would be a good one to have for today. So let me just, if you don't mind, let me read maybe the first one, and then we can maybe ping pong back and forth on this. But the question you posed was, are you wearing a straitjacket? Are we wearing a straitjacket? I might expand that to be. And so what did you mean by that, Cole? Are you wearing a straitjacket? What did you mean exactly?
Well, self-constraint. Um, we have been conditioned through our lives to act a certain way, and we've been conditioned in our lives to photograph a certain way. Sometimes it's by others telling us how we should photograph. Sometimes it's by the constraints we place on ourselves. So
Okay.
some of the
Oh,
ones are,
yeah.
okay,
Go ahead. Yeah.
uh, have you been taught to photograph a certain way? I can't tell you the number of times when we're working with people and I've heard them say, yeah, but I was taught.
Right.
So there's a straitjacket. I don't know how straitjackets work. They got little laces, don't they?
I
So
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
so there's one lace.
Yeah,
Uh,
so let me just take a minute on that, just because I like these enough that I think we should take a minute on each one. That's it's a straight jacket because if you recall, if you watched a few episodes ago, immediately when I was doing that macro photography, I was taught to do macro photography a certain way. And so I approached that subject that way rather than what does this subject require at this moment in time. So that's the idea. Okay.
yeah.
The next one.
How was I taught? And I know that when people teach photography, they're not trying to lay out these rigid rules. We do it to ourselves. We think this is God speaking from the mount, and He's telling us how we should photograph.
Oh, I got another one. You're out on the dunes and somebody says to you, I can't get all the dunes in focus.
Yeah, because she wouldn't stop her lens down because f8 was the optimal sharpness for her for that
Right.
lens.
And that's what she was taught, that you have to be at F8. And then, or other people might teach you, you've got a focus stack on the dunes. There's no other way. And
Yeah.
we've had that happen too, where people are saying, yeah, but aren't you guys going to focus stack? And you and I go, no, it's not the only way. Okay.
And I don't blame the person who's telling them
No, 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 no. Nope.
we do it. We think
Of
this is
course. Yes.
the rules you should follow.
Uh,
Boy,
uh,
rules are constraining. You're not going to ever be creative if you're busy following the rules.
yeah.
And I know people love to say, I am so tired of hearing this, but you've got to know the rules to be able to break them. No, I don't know them and I don't break them. I just do what feels right.
Well, the one little anecdote I like to share on this one is that person who came to your show, looked at your picture, and said, it's cut in half. And I love your answer. She could only see that image for the rules not followed,
Yeah.
rather than how she felt, or he or she felt about that image in that moment in time. So, that's what the rules, they can act like a straitjacket because you're not liberated to be able to do anything but put it in the power third or don't cut it in half and all those things. Okay.
There's another lace in the straitjacket.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Routines we've gotten into. Um,
Guilty, guilty. Yeah,
yeah.
Go ahead.
We have certain routines that we follow, and no one's saying that you have to, but we just stay within this little rut. That's a
Oh,
good way to put it, a rut. And
yeah.
yet sometimes it's hard to get out of it.
Oh, it's so hard because it's comfortable. I know how to do this type of photograph. So I arrive in Death Valley. It doesn't matter whether I'm in Death Valley or the Smokies. I'm going to just kind of do that comfort factor. That's maybe even a better way to put it. Routines or that comfortable place with your photography that you've gotten into, which I think is a straitjacket in that it doesn't let you be open to some other way to express yourself in that moment.
Well, it's almost like blinders, because you've
Yeah,
always done it that way. You don't see what's outside. There's
yeah,
another lace in the straitjacket.
yeah,
Copying others,
yeah.
whether it be me copying Ansel Adams or you being in the field and watching everyone point the camera that way. So you run over there and point the camera that way.
Gosh, I'm guilty of that one too. It's so hard for me
We've
not.
all been through that. I mean, we see it in the group. We'll take the group out and they'll cluster in one way. And so everybody's kind of thinking, oh, this must be where the shot is,
Shot it.
the shot.
Yeah,
They're laced in the straitjacket.
yeah,
Copying yourself. That I'm so guilty of that.
yeah,
Whether it be going back to the pharaohs and going back to the same locations and the same composition, or whether it be the same style. I'll use the word style instead of saying, what does my vision tell me about this place and how I want to see it and express it? I apply previous styles,
yeah.
following a judge or a mentor.
Oh boy, the advice, how powerful is that, right? Because it's so easy to look at a judge or a mentor or a professional friend or whatever. That's the category we're trying to talk about. And if they give you advice, boy,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but we tend to believe that advice
Yeah.
way more, right, than if we ask our spouse.
Well, here's one that I think is hilarious. There's a photographer you respect, you like their work.
Yeah,
And so you think their advice is going to be more powerful.
yeah,
And I say, listen to yourself.
yeah, yeah,
No one is an expert about you and your vision. And
yeah.
so their advice I hate to say it this way, it's meaningless.
Yeah,
It's
well,
meaningless.
what's that story you tell in the art critic?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, do it again.
Would you like to, yeah, the art critic who attending this photographer's first exhibit and he walks up and he says, would you like to hear my opinion about your work? And the photographer said, sure, let's hear it. He says, it's worthless. And the photographer says, I know it is, but
Let's hear it anyways.
yeah, let's hear it anyway. It's
I
worthless.
just I just
Let's
love
hear
that.
it anyway.
Yeah, it's worthless. Let's hear it anyways. But and it's true. So I mean, do you follow? I think your last one was, do you listen to the experts? And what makes you or me or anybody else an expert? I might know how to operate a camera better than you, but I love your expression. I know nothing about your vision. Nothing. The only expert about your vision is you. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think that people can be experts in Photoshop, they can be experts in camera gear, they can be experts in bird photography, how to catch the bird in flight, etc. But when it comes to vision, you shouldn't even ask other people about your work.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
because it muddies up the water. So the question today is, what things are you doing that causing you to get all bound up in that straitjacket and not allow yourself, to follow that expressive vision path?
Sometimes I think it's confidence.
Oh,
Let's face it, we go to experts because we lack the confidence to trust ourselves. And I agree. If I'm going to redo my brakes, I want to talk to an expert and I want to talk to somebody who's done it a lot to give me
sure.
advice on how to do it. But art is different than
Oh,
doing
totally
your
different.
brakes.
Yeah, I mean, there's an art to doing brakes, I'm sure, on a
Yeah,
car, but it is very mechanical, and you must do these things. Art, once you put those the blinders on, that can get in the way of being expressive. So,
yeah. So take off your straitjackets.
yeah, please.